So I'm also seeing a lot of my colleagues who have been jumping ship. One day, Mara, they are listening to the ground. I don't know, the ground has said what. It will be interesting for me to see how they will behave after the NDC. Because that's the time the ground will speak. We will have delegates, and between now and then, we'll be going to Mashinani. We'll be talking to our people. We'll be meeting people on the ground. We'll have a clean team going for the NDC. And so it will be interesting also to see how people will behave after the NDC. And secondly, after the address of our party leader. Because he is going to give a clear direction on where he wants us to move. And that's then, I think that's when people will make real decisions on what they want or the next way forward. So for now, I actually sympathize with my colleagues who have been running up and down. As the Swahili they say, tuliza boli. Tuliza boli too. After the NDC, things will unfold.
I have spent a lot of time listening to the ground before, all through up to now. And my ground has been very consistent. It tells me we need to stay with the president, we need to stay with the ruling party. So I don't know these people who say they listen to the ground, then they leave, which ground they're listening to. Because the ground I'm listening to tells me that we need to continue respecting our party leader, we need to continue respecting our president. So I don't know what they've been talking to. But anyway, we'll go to that ground and we're going to ask even their grounds, whether they are the ones who told them to do what they did. On the issue of IBC, we were in Kemba a couple of months ago for the Kemba by-election. Actually, I bumped into Chebukati during one of those things in some restaurant. And Mheshimiwa Sabina was there with us. We were all there actually as a team. And one of the things that happened, right from the beginning of that by-election, we had a problem with identification cards. All the people in Jubilee did not have cards. We then had this narrative that, members of parliament are not supposed to be agents. There's nowhere in the law that says any party can develop any person to be an agent. Then when we went to, we did the elections, we finished the elections. During the Tallinn, we were told, we were stopped from going to the Tallinn Center, despite the fact that by then we had been accredited. And then we have our conversations about what happened. Team Kariri has been working on that. Now, recently I see Chebukati take what I can only call a political position. When he wrote and said that cabinet secretaries are not allowed to take a position, a political position. What I don't understand is we have a deputy president who has taken a political position. I have never seen Chebukati write about him. The deputy president is part of cabinet. He already has a political position that he's taken. But then when some other CSs who are members of cabinet take a position, Chebukati is very quick to run and say, nobody should take a political position. So now I'm asking myself, so has he told the deputy president that he's not supposed to have a political position? So what does that tell us? It tells us that we have a IBC chairperson who is very biased. And for me, it is okay. Everybody in Kenya has a right to take a position. But then let us now understand that this position of yours is driven by your own personal interest or your own political aspirations. So that as we go into the next election, we are able to look at the commission and ask ourselves, is Chebukati the person we want to get into the next election, considering he's already shown his bias? The same way they're arguing that Matiang'i and Mucheru are biased. Now, Matiang'i and Mucheru are not directly involved in the election. Chebukati is. He's a chairman of the election body. He's already taken a position, and he's already shown that in an issue where the deputy president takes a political position and a cabinet secretary takes a political position, he's going to go after the cabinet secretary. He's not going to touch the deputy president. So it tells you which side of this political game he's playing. So my personal opinion, and this is something I will try and prosecute wherever I can, is that we need to seriously consider whether we can get somebody else. Because Kenya has 40-50 million people. I am sure we can get somebody else who can be a chairman of IEBC who is not as obvious in terms of the political position that he has taken as we get into this, what is going to be quite a heated general election that are supposed to take, then really, if he's taken a position, in my personal opinion, he just needs to go home.
So by the fact that in their meetings, whether they go to church or they do their rallies, they have to talk about Jubilee, that tells you it's alive, it's kicking, we are still here, and they are scared about Jubilee. They might have done premature exits, and they might have done some mistakes. What I would like to say is this. Jubilee Party is the one that took us to Parliament. And if anyone were very serious that the party was dead, they would have left the party. But by the fact that they have refused to leave the party, they are still part of Jubilee, they are earning a salary, and they are part of the team in Parliament, voted in, because that's why they are independent candidates. Everybody is taken to the Parliament by a specific political party. That tells you then we are still there. And so mine, I'm looking forward for the NDC, where I want to hear my party leader giving us a way forward on how we are going to run our affairs. As Mheshimiwa Ngujiri has said, for us, we have been working for the last 4 years. And it is interesting that the track record of what Jubilee Party has done, actually not just for the last 8-9 years, we've done a lot of groundwork. And so they choose to associate themselves with the development of the party. But when it comes to the issue of the party, then they choose again to go to another party. So it's hypocrisy of the highest order. And so it's interesting. I'm looking forward to see how the NDC will come out. You know, I watched some time back when one person from their area criticized the deputy president. And I saw one member saying, ukumbuke huyo ni damu yako, hata kama umheshimu. And I said, you know what goes round comes around. By the time everybody was going around and abusing the president and saying very nasty things, he was there seated. And I wondered whether the president hana damu, watu wao, and then this other one, now they have just realized that you cannot abuse somebody who is from your area. And so as members of Jubilee, we are happy that we have been working and the political time is coming. And after NDC, we'll be giving a way forward. For the ones who keep on lying and saying that we have been swallowed by ODM, I just want to say that we have a party. We are looking for partners. And that's why everybody is camping in Mount Kenya, because they are the majority. So the Jubilee Party has its members, and they'll make a decision on who is favorable. And as Mheshimiwa said, whose hands is Kenyan safe? And those are the questions we would be asking ourselves, not just even at that national level. We are in Mashinani today interacting with people, supporting Mheshimiwa on his program on mental health awareness. And this is something we also want to go to the ground, not just go and do politics, but also go to the ground and impact on people's lives. It's unfortunate you've seen what has been happening in our schools. Each and every day, our school is closing. Each and every day, kids are insisting they want to go home. We need to really address what's happening. Kids are stressed. We need to know how to address it. Do we send counselors? Do we give them a break? And even after a break, how do we manage them so that they are not so much stressed? So the issue of mental health is really something that is in the country. And that's why we came in today to benchmark with what Mheshimiwa is doing. We're going to launch by Saturday in Murang'a County. And we hope this can now even happen in the entire nation, where we can just go mashinani, not just for politics. Because sometimes people go speak nasty things and leave people feeling more hopeless than before. We need to give hope. We need to show our children that there is hope. We can't just keep on politicking and fighting. Year in, year out. It has really been a very stressful, I'll say, time with COVID, you know, with the schools being closed, children going, and now the curriculum and the program, they have to fast track it. So at this point, we need to really bring our people hope. And the first hope is that Jubilee is not dead. The second hope, we are going to work as a team. And this time, I'll only tell them, watch this step and watch the space.
Today in the press, there was a notice for the Jubilee National Delegates Conference. That is actually a notice that has come from a request from a lot of the members, both in Parliament and outside Parliament, who are members of Jubilee, based on this assumption that has been, false assumption that Jubilee doesn't exist, by people who still are in Jubilee, and they have refused to leave Jubilee, but they keep telling people that Jubilee doesn't exist. We just want to prove to people that we do things at the right time. For the last 4 years, the party leader, who is also the President of the Republic of Kenya, had told us we needed to focus on work, which is what we have been doing. We are now getting into the political cycle, meaning that now we need to start wearing our party colors, our party hats, and that is what we're doing. And that is why you are now starting to see Jubilee revamping itself. You've seen an NDC being called, because in the NDC you're going to get a roadmap of where we are going. We've done a lot of ground activation meetings in the region and across the country. The NDC is now going to give a proper roadmap. We have a few house cleaning things to do. We have some members who left our party and started associating themselves with another party, even to getting into a conflict with us. Because ideally you could be in a coalition with us, but you can't be in a party that is competing for positions with us if you are still with us. And one of the things we're going to be dealing with at that NDC is a proper channel of what do you do with people who have refused to leave the party, but spend every day trying to undermine it, including and led by none other than the deputy party leader of our party, who has said some very bad things about our party and has refused to leave. So he still is a member of Jubilee. He has refused to leave Jubilee. We've asked him kindly, we've asked him firmly, we've asked him politely and with a lot of humility to just wake up and leave the party. He has refused to leave the party. But every time he goes into a rally or he goes into a session, the key thing that he talks about is about our party and how our party doesn't exist. So if our party doesn't exist, why would you still continue associating yourself with it? So some of the things we're going to be talking about in the NDC include how to get solutions for things like that.